Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18. Episode 44 of Unchained, the God Particle, the Vortex of Light and Physical Understanding. Before I get into this video tonight, remember I told all of you, you have 2 years when Trump takes office to regain your composure, put things away like money and supplies, because in 2027, the left, like they were doing, like their Luciferian plan were doing, but it got snipped by Lucifer himself, are going to rise up again and start the 7 years of tribulation. This will happen in 2027 to 2034 when the war starts. Remember the War of 34. So, just do it. And you can see what's going on. He's pardoning criminals, doing all kinds of shit. They're rebuilding again. They're rebuilding to come out. And this time they're going to attack full force. So, screw politics. They're going to go around everything they can to interrupt things. So, make sure you prepare yourself. Now, in this video, this is going to be a little bit of a learning video. It's going to make you think, I hope, about how much God is around us, taking care of things on levels that you don't even know or understand, most people. And I find it very interesting. Something happened this week which alerted me to this fact. A lot of information came in. I talked with Devron, and now I'm doing a video. So we have one more day of 2024, and then, we'll see what happens starting the new year. Now here I'm going to talk some about God and how He creates and nurtures us since the beginning of time, now and forever. People have a created image of God, formed over thousands of years and totally in a human form perspective. God allows this, for it stretches the human awareness, and that's all that an alive human can handle when concerning God as we know it, as we know Him. God's intense. Let's see now. Now, if your soul comes from heaven, like mine, you know a hell of a lot more about the subject of third-dimensional reality and, of course, God. And you prove it, like I have over the last 30 years with all the discoveries like alien contact and, of course, the orb discovery and all the predictions and evidence that I've done. If you have it, you put it out and it's backed up. Recently, I saw something online and recognized its purpose immediately as it pertains to God's reality, the proton. When your soul reaches the first level of heaven, you are endowed with the hidden knowledge of creation through God's design. It's like a tsunami of knowledge and awareness that you could never achieve being alive here on earth. All the hidden things in reality on a God level come to light, and you carry that with you from then on, your soul. All this is so your soul can continue upward to the highest achievements of heaven. Now, when a soul whom has reached the level of heaven and decides to go backwards and incarnate again on earth so something can be achieved in God's and heaven's design, Devron will design what that soul needs to get done and strips away almost all of that knowledge of heaven, but leaves crumbs of info that this soul will need to recognize to succeed. Now, in my case, when I awoke in 1998 in the boundaries of the Vortex, I all of a sudden knew everything: witchcraft, magic, empathy, reality, and interdimensional laws. For the next 3 years, I tested the famous and the not so famous on what they knew and was very disappointed. Everything I found out was I found was flawed, and the info I considered bubblegum level stuff. Like you read on the comics of a bubblegum. Like that's how true and interesting that was. And that's why over the last 35 years I have said many times, publicly many times, I awoke at the top of the metaphysical food chain and had to work my way down to understand what the world knew about the subject of metaphysics. At that point, I became a lone practitioner. I didn't want the fake news to interfere what I was about to do here. Now back to the God particle. Guard. Why do I keep saying guard? God particle. What do you want? It's New Year's. Yay! Right? Now back to the God particle. Science has given the name God particle. A particle is like an atom, but way smaller, and it's called the Higgs boson. They believe this particle gives mass to everything, and it does, but they were too much in a rush to use the word God in their description. They should have used reality particle. For the Higgs boson is not the beginning. There is something that the Higgs boson draws wave energy from to create reality, the true God particle, the proton. Atoms make up everything in reality. Inside in each and every atom is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons, and a nucleus. Let me show you the pic of that. Sorry, hold on. Where's my... there it is. Okay, hold on. Here. Now here, as you see, this is an atom. You have 2 protons, you have 2 neutrons, you have 2 electrons, and a nucleus in the center. That is an atom. Just in case, you're not aware of it. Everything you feel, touch, or see is made up of atoms. For this video, we will focus on the protons, the true and sustaining direct energy from God. Oh, don't you hate it when your cigarette goes out because you're talking too much? Okay. For my mission in life, my soul was stripped of many of heaven's truths. And what Dev does is leave me clues to find. Now, if I find and then decide to act upon these findings, it's up to my free will. It's always there, and it's God's law. Since I've been aware of my soul's mission here since awakening in 1988, I know how to make the right choice. When the clue is given, I know how to make the right choice when the clue is given, and so far, I've been spot on. As you see by all my discoveries and evidence and shit. Thank God. Okay. Now, when clues arise, sometimes once you see it, in order to make the right choice, information which you learned in heaven comes back in a flood, almost overpowering awareness, and then what was taken away you now have back again, but only as it pertains to what your mission is here. So you're not going to awake, as what happened to me recently last week, or a couple days ago or last week. You're not going to retain everything that you learn in heaven here, because you can't function here. You know everything's an illusion. But that one certain stuff that you do, the bit of information that you do need in order to make the right choice about the clue, will come to you. And a lot of people call this your gut instinct. You know your gut instinct? It always seems to be right. There you go. Hold on now. It's happened to me many times. That's why I'm so good at what I do. Last week it happened again. As I was passing by my PC monitor, I saw a news flash. For the first time, scientists were able to take a photograph of a single proton. And I looked at the picture, and instantly a flood of heavenly info poured back in. For there in front of me was the true God particle, created by God in heaven to allow the energy or wavelength of light in, so third dimension could exist. I checked with Devron immediately, and he was happy that I recognized it. And I then asked, what do I do with this discovery? He replied the same as he's done for the last 30 years. Do whatever you like with it. You couldn't make a mistake if you tried. And he tells me that, he's told me that for 30 years. I'm like, what if I do this? He goes, you do whatever you want. You couldn't make a mistake if you tried. So, okay. Thanks for the confidence, Dev. You know? Now, according to science, protons are particles that emit light in the form of a wave. A proton is a single quantum amount of light, and without the protons, atoms wouldn't exist, and so reality wouldn't exist. Every single atom has them, no matter where it is, no matter how far, billions of years, light years away from here and all that, they all have them. Protons have no mass or size. They are pure, tiny vortexes designed by God in a certain way or shape that allows the light of God's creative energy to flow through and uphold third dimension. Scientists call this light proton energy, which is tiny particles that carry electromagnetic radiation with them. That's what comes out of this proton. So much about God that people don't know, like radiation. Now here's the interesting part. Protons do not experience time, and they're not physical, they're wave energy. This is true in third dimension and is true by heaven's design. I've always known protons exist, but I never saw their shape until now. And as soon as I saw it, I recognized it from the night I had contact on February 10th, 1998, and discovered the vortex. It's the same shape as the doorway that opened behind the alien. I was so lucky to have my recording equipment there and film the whole thing. And yes, I have the whole thing of contact filmed, and I've never released it. Only a spot or two, like you see up here. It's just my thing. I don't know why. The proton, as it's shown in third dimension, is designed as a circular receiver and distributor of pure God energy of light. At the center is a round hole or opening, and around that are smaller holes, as you see in this picture. And now I'm going to show you what the proton that they photographed for the very first time looks like. There it is. Now, as you look at it, you can see the energy coming off of it. You can see that it's circular with a hole in the center, right? And it has little holes going around it. So just remember that. Just remember that. Okay, hold on. Here, I just want to show you too, just for now, what the hell. I optimized the picture, and look, you could still see the circular inside, and you see that wave energy, but look what's coming out of it. That's God's energy of light. The optimization picks it up when the regular picture doesn't. They are. You want to know if God exists? There he is. And let me see here. Hold on. All right, I'm just going to flip these over just to show you. And then I'll continue with what I'm doing here. Hold on. You get that? You see there? I've changed a different little bit of light so you can see it better. There's another one. But this one really comes out nice, as you can see. All right. Now, Without this light that the proton puts out, there would be nothing anywhere. So this is a way God upholds third dimension, thus nurturing our learning existence. Unfortunately, our scientists look at the proton through science eyes. And people in general have limited God's existence to human parameters and really never look any deeper than that. God is everywhere. God is in this watch. God's in my hair, my hat, my sleeve. Everywhere. You can't get away from him. Now let's just say at the proton level and many other minute levels like a proton, God is all around us all the time, watching, helping, listening, and facilitating what we need to learn as a soul all the time. There is no further word after that. All the time. As you're watching this video, if it's on your phone, God's in it. The makeup of that, TV, monitors, it's just everywhere. Now, why am I doing this video? When I made contact, the multiverse alien that you see is thousands of linear years ahead of us in everything, especially science and understanding God's laws and energy. Now, they have taken the design of the proton and its God properties and created a working doorway in the multiverse. Now, if you look at the proton picture and the contact picture, you see the structured design is almost the same. Now here, I'm going to show you one more time this one. Okay. One more time. This I black and white. You can really see the actual proton underneath all that energy there. Just like I said it was. Now here, this is the night I had contact. I made contact, February 10th, 1998. The picture on the right, I boxed off the alien, the third dimensional alien. And if you look behind him, you see a circular type doorway with little holes going through it and a hole in the center. And if you look over at the proton on the left, they look almost exactly the same. By understanding God's, and yes, our God is their God also, design, they can travel from multiverse to multiverse, never ending. In this case, they are good, not evil. The Endorians, the ones that are helping me out and that I met with, as you see in that picture right there. Now, in closing, God is everywhere. All the time, in everything exists, and throughout the multiverse. There are many alien beings far smarter than we are. Multiverse alien beings that are far smarter than we are. And there are many not as smart as we are. The one thing we all have in common, no matter what world or universe you're in, God has your back. Now, before I just go, I just want to show you, let me see what we got here. Here's the original contact picture. Okay, there's the original picture from my camera. It was taken, it's night, taken in black and white. You see me there, you see the alien about 25, 30 feet ahead of me, and behind him about 10 feet the doorway. And we'll get a better picture of that. Here. Hold on. There's a closer picture. That's the picture that I compared. You can see the doorway is almost exactly the same shape as the proton. These aliens have really, really rose to the occasion. And just to make sure that you can tell, there's the Endorian alien that was in front of the doorway. I just blacked everything else out behind him, and you see the light from my camera is reflecting off his third dimensional physical body as he stood there. And he's a lizard. Good. There are good lizards and there are bad lizards. Now, I just wanted to get that out because I find that to be intriguing and extremely important when it comes to knowing just how much God is around us in many different forms. And all you have to do anytime, anywhere, is pray and ask for forgiveness or guidance or help from God or Jesus or one of the angelic beings. And whatever atoms are around you will carry the message to them. So that is so cool that God has made such a vortex, the size of a particle, to be able to facilitate Earth, third dimension, and our universe. I hope everybody is safe tomorrow night. If you're going to drive, watch for drunk drivers. Don't drink and drive. And just remember, 2025 is going to bring some neat stuff. So hang in there. I want everybody to stay prayed up, and peace out.